Hello, all you parents out there. Today's parenting hack is how to stop repeating yourself over and over and over again with your kids. That is so frustrating, isn't it? When you have to find yourself telling your kid for the umpteenth million time to put their shoes away or to do their homework. It's so frustrating. You feel like you could be replaced by a broken record. So here's some tools. Number one is to act, don't yak. So when we talk too much, blah, 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 our kids start tuning us out. I even had my daughter do that one time, like that, because they don't want to hear us yak. They don't want to hear us talk. And when we talk too much, our kids learn, number one, that we don't mean business because we're talking all the time. And number two, they learn to tune us out. So it's really important to learn the skill of acting, don't yak. So let me give you some examples. Let's say your kids are supposed to unroll their socks before they put it in their laundry. And you've given them this lecture, you've told them why, and they're still doing it. So one of the things you can do is to take action by not doing the laundry, the socks that have not been unrolled. Another one is, let's say your child's job is to set the table and they're not doing it and you keep reminding them. Instead of saying anything, you simply put all the food on the table and you get everybody to sit down. And the kids will come to the table and they'll figure it out, that there's no silverware, there are no plates. So quit yakking and start acting. So another example is, let's say your child wants a cookie. And you said, no, there's no cookies before dinner time. And they keep going, I want a cookie, I want a cookie. And you keep saying, no, we're gonna have dinner, now stop. If you ask me one more time, and so we keep talking. And our kid learns, well, maybe if I keep it up a little bit longer, she's gonna give in. And that's what we usually do, is we go, here, have the cookie, now shut up. You probably don't say that, but you think that in your head. So instead, what you want to do is your child comes to you and says, I want a cookie. And they know that they're not supposed to have cookies before dinner. So you've already told them 5 times at least. So instead, you just want to smile and walk off. Just walk away. Okay? Don't get involved in it. Just walk away. And they'll soon learn that, hey, it doesn't pay off for me to keep pestering my mom or my dad. So the next thing that you can do instead of yakking is to use signals. So signals help you so that instead of saying all the verbiage, you just give a signal. So in our household, what we did was, my daughter was about 11 years old and she had this friend that she liked to go to. And my daughter is very energetic. She just likes to get up and go. And she's also a very grateful child. But when she got to her friend's house, she would very often forget to say thank you to her host. So at a calm time, I said to my daughter, I said, honey, I know you're a very grateful person. And I also know that you get excited and you just want to move on to the next thing. And sometimes you forget to say thank you to your host. So I was wondering, what's some signal that I could give you that lets you know to say thank you? And she said, she thought about it and she said, well, you could just touch my elbow, which is great because when they're preteens, they're really concerned about their appearance and they don't want to be embarrassed or humiliated. So that nice touch on the elbow is a great way to do that. So we got to her house and we're leaving, and sure enough, Brianna's forgotten to say thank you. So we walk down the driveway, she still hasn't said thank you. We get to the car, she still hasn't said thank you. And so I just simply touch her on the elbow and she looks at me and then she goes, oh, thank you, Miss Anderson, I had such a great time. So using signals is a great way to avoid talking too much. The last one is to use one word. So instead of saying, did you feed the dog? It doesn't look like you fed that dog. You know, how would you like it if I didn't feed you? So instead of saying all of that, which gets you nowhere, just except makes your child mad at you, you can just use one word, like the dog's name. For example, Nala. And just say that word in a pleasant way. Watch your tone of voice though, because I can say it in a mean way too. I could go, Nala, which says you're bad, I'm disappointed in you. Or I can just say Nala in a friendly, loving, smiling way. Another one word that we really had fun with in our family was the word redo. So what redo meant in our family was if someone was acting off the wall, we would just simply say redo. So if my child was being disrespectful to me, I could just say redo. And redo was short for I want to hear what you have to say. What you have to say is really important, but it needs to be respectful. So my child could also say redo to me, could say redo to dad, and it was really helpful because a lot of times we do things unconsciously. And so that one word helped us be more conscious in our family. So I hope you enjoyed these tips on how to stop nagging, stop being that record that goes spinning and talks all the time. And if you have more tips to share, please put them in the comments. Or if you have a question about some other issue in your family that you're having trouble with, usually other people are having that same issue too. So please put it down below and I'll make a video on that.